There are several different types of components we can bring onto a window in Ignition. Of course, the first are all the components we see in the component palette on the right-hand side of our designer. So any component we find over here, we can drag onto our screen. So for example, I could take a cylindrical tank, I can come down here to a meter, if I go down maybe to my charts and take a sparkline chart, all these components we can put onto the window, and then we can configure them further. The second type of component we can put onto a window are vector graphics. If we go up here to Tools, Symbol Factory, there are over 4,000 graphics we can bring onto a screen from here. And they're organized into various categories from basic to advanced. So here, if I have my motors category selected, I can take any motor. For example, if I like this motor here, I can drag it onto my screen, and now I have a graphic that I can work with. Of course, these are vector graphics, so as you scale them up or scale them down, they're going to look really good. The third thing you can bring onto a window are graphics you create yourself using our drawing tools. On the right-hand side of the designer it's a thin strip of tools here that allow us to draw our own graphics. So we have a rectangle tool here. I can click on that, maybe draw a rectangle, round the corners. Take a arrow tool, draw an arrow somewhere. Take the line tool on the right-hand side, draw a simple line, and press enter. Maybe I want to connect that line together to actually make some interesting shape. So we can make our own components that way using our drawing tools. Along the same lines with vector graphics, we can also import SVGs into our window. So here, for example, I have our Ignition logo here as an SVG file on my machine. So this is I have the folder open on Windows. I can take the SVG and I can simply just drag it onto my screen in Ignition, and that exact same logo will now be on the screen that I can work further with. The last thing we can put onto a window is our own images, PNGs, JPEGs, or GIFs. For that, we have a special component. So if you go over here to our display, I have a component called the image component. I can put that onto a window anywhere that we want. Say I put it right here. The component has a property called image path, which I can set to any JPEG, PNG, or GIF. I click on the folder view, allows me to go and find things. I can upload any image from our computer into this area. I can also see some of the ones that we have built in. So for example, I go to built-in icons 48. I have some images here that I can work. Let's say that I want to use this clipboard here. Click on the clipboard, and now you can see there's an image on the screen that I can work with. So there's several different types of components we can bring onto a screen. Each of these components have the various things in common, like properties, so we can change the way they look and the way they behave in Ignition.